All right, Shalom, Michael. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect, this teacher's word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to title this lesson, Satan against Satan. And this what you're seeing, the Lord is orchestrating this great divide between the Edomites. You know, the so-called white man and his reign of terror is coming to an end. And all these events that's happening throughout the planet Earth is contributing to it. And ultimately, it's an effort for him to be overthrown. World War III will be the event, that cuts this man's off out of power. That's going to cement him being out of rulership. But as we get closer to the perfect day, we're seeing the different symptoms, to the falling of an empire. And one of them is, you have that infighting. So that's what we've seen today. The Lord pretty much added fuel to the fire with this guy, Charlie Kirk, being put to death, man. So I got this article from Wired.com and it reads, "War is here. The far right responds to Charlie Kirk shooting with call for violence." And this nigga Charlie Kirk, he was one of those, make America great again, Edomites. He was one of those ones, used that pseudoscience and, the typical Edomite, the 13%, that use these different statistics to try to put Jake in a certain light. It was just good for the nigga the Lord got rid on, It says prominent far-right figures and elected officials have called for vengeance following the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. So this nigga was like he was one of the heroes for Edom. Putting that spirit of proud to be an Edomite again. He was one of the ones that contributed to it. Let's see. It says minutes after right-wing activist Charlie Kirk was fatally shot while speaking at an event in Utah on Wednesday, far-right influencers and extremist communities lit up social media with call for violence against the left. Kirk, the founder of conservative youth organizing group Turning Point USA, was shot and killed while taking questions at TPUSA held an event at Utah Valley University. Law enforcement officials said late afternoon Wednesday that a person of interest was in custody, but that individual was later released. No motive was yet being reported by authorities. Yeah, some nigga that looked like the old Steve from American Dad. That's who the first guy they had. But as you can see, you got that turn, the far right, the far left. And ultimately, it's how by Shemal Shai breaking this shit up, man. See, the so-called white man is finished. These Edomites thought Trump was going to be the answer and things were going to get back to it. No, man. Prophecy says that America is going to be destroyed. And we witnessing it now. This is part of the destruction. This contributing to the destructuring of this system. People stir it up, Let's start out with this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. In verse 2, it reads, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." See? And now, that you can see that civil war is coming, is coming about. You can see it's becoming clearer and clearer, man. And that's what the Lord doing. He keeps setting the agenda against the agenda. You got the far right and the far left. And ain't no middle ground, ain't no you agree on, so God, and we seen it with the Trump and the Biden thing. You with Trump, then your whole family will shun you, and vice versa with Biden. Even with the jab, those that got jab and those who didn't, it was a separation. And that's really Yahweh Shema Shine breaking up this place, as well as the curses. Because when you go into it, let's get that in Deuteronomy 28. See, them curses going back on them Edomites now, man. I think it's on, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. I might have to type it up. This is Deuteronomy 28. And verse 54 reads, let's see. Right. It says, "So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall lead." So we seeing that now. The Edom got an evil eye towards Edom. You got the right and the left. Then you even have a division within the left. Motherfuckers with the tranny shit, and then one nigga say, "Man, you going too far." And then they get into it. These guys on the right, they might support Israel. Then another guy from the right, like, "No, you going too far," So is the Lord breaking this shit up on all levels, and it's just a sign that this devil is going down, man. The so-called white man, which are the biblical Edomites. Let's get this real quick before we go back to Isaiah, the book of St. Matthew, the 12th chapter, verse 25. It reads, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation." See? And America is becoming a reproach before the earth. Everyone is got eyes on this place, and really is anticipating the overthrow of it. You looking, you looking from the outside in, you can see the house. Let's just say you don't even stay there, but you can see that house is very disruptive. The blinds and shit tore up. Police been there a few times. Eventually, you're going to be like, man, they're going to get evicted. Somebody about to die. Something to go down in that house. And for those we here in America, we see that this place about to be overthrown, man. From the streets to the minds of the people, everything else in between, the money system, it's gone, man. To the point of no return. So it's just going back to add more fuel to the fire, man. These Americans ain't about to get together, man. A national prayer. No, it's about to be a war, man. Going back, St. Matthew 12:25, it says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. See? Yeah, you in the same house, but you can't get along. That leads to the maintenance of the house going down. Niggas skip the bill. That's the state of America. It says, and if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? See? Because even when you look at on a bigger scale with Russia and America, these are two powerhouses. You know, they really running shit. Yet these niggas about to cancel each other out. All this tech they have and knowledge, the power. Yet these guys will is about to cancel each other out by the way of World War III. You know? Hold on. Yo, chill out. Chill out. By World War III. So matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19. Isaiah 19:2, it reads, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. So this is what we're seeing. The Lord, matter of fact, let's see if we can get this in a blue letter. That word set. Let's see. Really gave me none. Let's see. Really, ultimately, the Lord is He the one that's has decreed this. He the one that has constituted and appointed the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And you can say the Americans against the Americans, the right versus the left, the Democrats versus the Republicans. But you can see now where it makes more sense. This place falling apart, and the Lord attacking this place on all levels. To where once this place collapses, it's nothing you ain't gonna be able. It ain't gonna be nothing to build off of. From the money, even the infrastructure itself, the whole land is gonna be destroyed. You know. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So from these Americans going at it with each other to the climax of, you have these Edomites from the Americans versus the Russians, man. But these are signs to the end of the world. Matter of fact, Lord will, let me see if I can find this. The Lord had the Canaanites to really kill each other, man. That going back to that Civil War spirit. Let's see if this is it. That's the spirit. This is it. Okay, God, this is and this was concerning Jonathan and like I said, Jonathan's victory over the Philistines. But I'm gonna get to the point how the Lord put the spirit on these Philistines to really kill each other, man. And matter of fact, let me get it in the NLT. I think we'll end it off on this in the NLT. I know it's verse 20. I just got to get a good. Yeah, let me jump up. Matter of fact, I just started verse 15 and read it all down. 1 Samuel 14 and verse 15 in the NLT, it reads, "Suddenly panic broke out in the Philistine army, both in the camp and in the field, including the outposts and raiding parties. And just then an earthquake struck and everyone was terrified. Saul's lookout in Gibeah of Benjamin saw a strange sight. The vast army of Philistines began to melt away in every direction." So he's starting to Saul's lookout seeing that army, the numbers began to dwindle. And that's why I was going back to the point. The Lord, he's going to fight our battle, man. Yahweh Hashem Shai is going to fight for us. His scripture even speaks on be still and know that I'm the Lord. I'll be exalted in the earth. I'll be exalted among the heathen. Show you that the Lord is going to use the heathen for an example by the way of these prophecies. So this, and the scripture also speaks of what the things were written aforetime, written for our learning. Because the Philistines was a thorn in our side. How much more now our arch enemy? So that we seeing this playing out as well, in a sense. It says, Saul's lookout, continue on verse 17. It says, call the roll and find out who's missing. Saul ordered. And when they had checked, they found that Jonathan and his armor bearer were gone. Yeah, because Jonathan wanted to, stretch his legs in a sense. When you read up on it, meaning, he was going after those Philistines. It says, then Saul shouted to Ahijah, bring the ephod here. For at that time, Ahijah was wearing the ephod in front of the Israelites. But when Saul was talking to the priest, the confusion in the Philistine camp grew louder and louder. So Saul said to the priest, never mind, let's get going. Then Saul and all his men rushed out to the battle and found the Philistines killing each other. There was terrible confusion everywhere. So the Lord put the spirit on the Philistines to where they was killing each other, man. So that's what we're going to see today. The Lord going to put that spirit on these Edomites. They're going to be killing each other. And that's why that civil war spirit, is see? That's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. As you can see, it's a prayer for Charlie Kirk and our nation. So this nigga, now it's deeper than just Charlie. It's for America. But you got Edomites now that hate America. But at the end of the day, all these niggas gonna cancel each other out. This devil is at his wit's hand, man. So yeah, I just heard it with edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the teachers word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.